right, welcome back. We are at the bottom of the barrel. There are no white picket fences around here. But I'm your host nonetheless, Tommy the Cat. Let's see what kind of content we can scrape up. So, just my background, I work 15 hours a day, 7 days a week. I document the orders that I take doing gig work. And every day I take a look at those numbers and see where I can make improvements in the process. As far as creating content goes, I have zero idea what I'm doing. So right now, this is the best I can do. But I will be making small improvements over time, hopefully. Every day I'm going to try and put a quick review up and improve the video making process as I go. So here are examples of how I document. Oh, that's not going to work. There we go. I document each of my orders. I made a little different from yesterday. I made some improvements so it's a little more visually could be communicated a little better. There's how much I made on that one, and here's all the different attributes. So I got where it was, which app, start and end, and if for some reason I was stopped and couldn't proceed for a minute, and as to why. I do that for all of them, just to see what's going on with my time. You know, whether I made a lot of money or not, I want to know what's going on. So that's that. Let's see. So here's the stats from yesterday. I'm sorry, this is a terrible video. I'm not good at this, but the stats from yesterday. Right up here. So I did have a short day yesterday, just 10 hours, because I had some stuff to take care of. Same with today. It's going to be a little bit shorter of a day. But generally, I do work from the moment I wake up till the moment I go to bed, 7 days a week. And if it's not on gig work, it's on other stuff that I got going on. I'm trying to get a few other things off the ground at the same time. So I did 25 orders. As usual, they mostly come from Uber. Grubhub and DoorDash, got very few from them. But I did get some from DoorDash, so that's kind of cool. I've had quite a few days in a row where, even though I got the app on, DoorDash just never sends me nothing. Not like it used to be. Pause for a second. There we go. I got a DoorDash schedule starting up. I don't generally schedule anything, but with DoorDash you can't start without being on the schedule. So I tend to forget when I've scheduled myself, so I keep an alarm. Anyways, yesterday it was 10 hours, 242 miles total. $212 I made in those 10 hours. Comes out to about $21 an hour, a little less. Gas, I put about $23 in the tank. I didn't start with the full tank. I didn't end with the full tank, so it's just every day I wind up putting gas in at some point. As far as the total active time, I had about 7 hours, just over 7 hours. Took about 13 minutes of break time. Otherwise, I take very little breaks. Eat while I'm driving. I'll use the restroom if I have an order that's waiting or not ready yet when I get there. Trolling, that's really the biggest time waster right there. Just trolling around, trying to get an order. About 2 hours of the day. 2 hours out of my 10 was trolling, about 20%. That's actually not too bad. Usually it's a little worse. As far as waiting at a restaurant or waiting at a drop-off, as usual, the biggest time waster is an order's not ready. At about 45 minutes out of the 10, that was just me waiting on orders. Usually it's not too many, not too long at any one place, but you'll get one or two big piles of crap. I had one at a pizza place yesterday. I won't name it. That I got there and they hadn't even put the pizza in the oven yet. And it was towards the end of the night. I was tired. So, I didn't feel like getting mad about it. So I just shot the breeze with the owner for a little while. It's kind of a nice break. Help is when I can't get help from the employees, even though I can see the order sitting there ready. If I can't get help from them, but the order is also not ready, then I count that as not ready. But if the order's sitting there, then it's just employees that are not really paying attention. 5 minutes, I had a customer that was not available immediately, and I couldn't just leave the order there. Sometimes Uber has a timer that you have to count down. So it took about 5 minutes. But again, the biggest hitter there is order not ready. I think the best thing you can do on that is just, ask them how long it's going to be, knowing that whatever they say, it's going to be a little more than that. So if they tell you 10 or 15 minutes, that is not worth keeping. If they tell you 5 minutes, it could still be 10 or 15 minutes. But, at least you got to ask. Failed orders. That's another big time waster. And they pretty much always come from Uber. And the shitty thing about Uber is that they don't pay you. If you have to unassign for whatever reason, they do not pay you for that. So I had 4 of them yesterday. They were all from Uber. Wasted about a half an hour of my time. And most of it was store closed. Usually most of it is because it's already been picked up by somebody else and stolen. But I didn't have any of those yesterday. Excess wait is when the waiting is just going to be too long. That was a P.F. Chang's order. And there were 6 people ahead of me, and the first guy waiting had been there for half an hour. So I wasn't about to wait for that. But I still spent about 10 minutes on that order between driving there and waiting. But I did get out of there within a few minutes, so I made the best of it. Map fail. That is where I accept an order, but for whatever reason, my GPS doesn't update with the new location, and I wind up driving to some other location only to realize I'm at the wrong location. And if I were to continue that order, I would definitely get a violation for arriving too late. So I just unassigned it. In that case, I was actually on an active order when Uber gave me another order, and my map didn't update, so I wound up going to the customer on the first order when I realized, so I just unassigned it. Anyways, no canceled orders, no already picked up. And that's it. That's pretty much how my time went yesterday. I wanted to do something. I didn't have a chance to do it. I will do it tomorrow. I've already spent about an hour going over these numbers and figuring out what to do on this video. So that's enough. That's as much time as I could spend right now, because that's an hour of time that I'm not working making money. So if I do this every day, that's $600 a month that is costing me to put up videos on YouTube. So I don't know if this is a good thing to do or not, but I think as I get better at this, some of the things that I find helpful might be able to help some other people as well. So maybe worth it in the end. But one thing that I'll do tomorrow is I will look at what's the theoretical limit of money that I could have made on this day, working 10 hours. If you were able to eliminate all the trolling, basically you get one order after another. If you didn't have to wait at any restaurants, if your customers didn't waste your time at the drop-off, if you could remove all of the waste and non-value-added time, how much could you have made? And usually it's a lot more. And so I think finding ways to at least eliminate some of the heavier hitters, I think is it's a worthwhile endeavor. So that's it for today. Let's see. No, that was not the right one. There we go. Yeah, the whole purpose of these videos is that if you can make a small improvement on any particular aspect of the process, the fact that you're doing 20 to 30 to 40 deliveries a day, 7 days a week, or at least I'm doing that. If you can save a few seconds or minutes per delivery, that's a lot of money at the end of the year that you can use as a down payment towards a house. Really anything. anything, not just a house. But compounding those small process improvements over many iterations and a long period of time, it can definitely have an impact. It can definitely change where you're at in life by making small improvements. So that's about it. I'm trying to share that with people. I know these videos are terrible right now, but hopefully I'll improve that as well, little bit by little bit. So I'll try again tomorrow and we'll see if I can get any better.